ideas would come about through it. Of course, such an entirely new thing as this required a great deal of learning and working out before it could be made to run smoothly. Something new, some fresh problems cropped up every day. But although the doctor, at all times a busy man, was positively worked to death, he found it also interesting that he didn't mind. But the motherly Dab Dab was dreadful worried about him, for indeed at the beginning he seemed to never sleep at all. Certainly, in the whole history of the world, there was never another post office like the doctor's. For one thing, it was a houseboat post office. For another, tea was served to everybody, the clerks and the customers as well, regularly at 4 o'clock every afternoon, with cucumber sandwiches on Sundays. Paddling over to the foreign mail's post office for afternoon tea became quite a fashionable thing to do. Among the most high-to-date fantippins, a large awning was put over the back door, forming a pleasant sort of veranda with a good view of the ocean and the bay. And if you dropped in for a stamp around 4 o'clock, as likely as not, you would meet the king there and all the other high notable of fantippos sipping tea. Still, another thing in which the doctor's post office was different from all the others was the gum used on the stamps. The supply of gum which the king had been using for his stamps ran short, and the doctor had to set about discovering and making a new kind. And after a good deal of experiment, he invented a gum made of licorice which dried quickly and worked very well. But, as I have said, the Fantippins were very fond of sweets, and soon after the new gum was put into use, the post office was crowded with people buying stamps by the hundreds. At first, the doctor could not understand this sudden new rush of business, which kept Tutu, the cashier, working overtime every night, adding up the day's takings. The post office safe was hardly could hardly hold all the money taken in, and the overflow had to be put in a vase on the kitchen mantelpiece. But presently the doctor noticed that after they had licked the gum off the stamps, the customers would bring them back and want to exchange them for money again. Now, it is a rule that all post offices have to exchange their own stamps when asked for the price paid for them. So long as they are not torn or marked, it doesn't matter whether the gum has been licked off or not. So the doctor saw that he would have to change his kind of gum if he wanted to keep stamps that would stick. And one day, the king's brother came into the post office with a terrible cough and asked him in the same breath or gasp to give him 5 halfpenny stamps and a cure for a cough. This gave the doctor an idea, and the next gum which he invented for his stamps he called whooping cough gum. He made it out of a special kind of sweet, sticky cough mixture. He also invented a bronchitis gum, a mumps gum, and several others. And whenever there was a catching disease in the town, the doctor would see that the proper kind of gum to cure it was issued on the stamps. It saved him a lot of trouble because the people were always bothering him to cure coughs and sore throats and things. And he was the first postmaster general to use this of getting rid of sickness. He served round pleasant medicine on the backs of stamps. He called it stamping out a epidemic.
Yeah.